Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, I finally got my stuff together and I finally decided the podcast name to this podcast with my co-host and best friend Alfonso Reyes, who goes by Muscular Dystrophy Warrior online. And before my name was Victor Guerra Podcast, that was the podcast I originally said a long, long time ago. And then we just started filming episodes on it. But I finally found out how to change the podcast name and everything else. So the name to the podcast is now called Will Brothers Podcast, like Will, like Wheel, like wheelchair. Will Brothers Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we have again my good friend Alfonso Reyes joining us today, and
We
we're
should
gonna.
bring a guest. We should have guests soon.
I know, yeah, actually, that would be kind of
I
cool.
was thinking, but what guest do we bring? But we'll talk that next time, guys.
We can,
So I don't know
we
what.
dude, we can actually like do that. That's actually, dude, that's a
I'll
good
let
one.
you. I'll let you take that care of. 'Cause I've seen your guests. You bring some very great guests.
No, I appreciate it. It's definitely a
So
lot of
I'll
I don't
let
even
you
know how
do
I'm
that.
doing it, to be honest.
No, I mean that's why I'm letting you do that. Just tell me. I'll do the question. You do that. I feel like every guest that we have, they're all been like, we like your questions. I
Yeah,
have received those comments after the recording, like, how do you get those points? I'm like, see who I'm bringing, I see their vibe, and let's go from there.
yeah, I just go based off of like people's energy and vibe, and that kind of like
Yeah,
alters the course
same.
of the conversation.
Yeah, it makes that's why all my guests been great. 'Cause I've been like fortunate to find some people that they give me detail. It's not like just a small, which I like. It makes my job easier
Yeah. And
because
no,
when they
your
answer
your
quick,
guests are really cool too because you have a smart angle because you were literally interviewing people who have muscular dystrophy, right? Or have a disability. And you even had a creative angle, which I thought was really, really smart, where you actually reached out to the parents. And I thought that was a very smart angle.
yeah, because I saw them that they went to Washington,
Yeah.
which I thought was like great story because I'm like go and make changes to help everybody else.
And it was smart because you get a familiarity with like the perspective of the individual with the diagnosis and also a perspective of the parents who are caregiving for their son, for their child or grandchild or
Whoever,
right? Is
yeah. So
guardian is not the right word. The
already in the yeah, whatever you
patient,
caregivers
I
doing.
guess, patient person
All
is the right
right,
word. I'm getting tongue twisted here. So the first question
okay,
I have I only read the first two questions, so the rest I don't know. But
it
there's
better
seven
be
questions.
right.
So the
All
first
right.
question is, when people see the wheelchair first, what part of you do you wish they saw instead? I fell in love with this question.
Hmm, that's a good question. I mean, feel like how the person is personality wise, hobby wise. I feel like that's the main. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah, instead of the wheelchair. I mean, I think if you think about it, if someone's not in a wheelchair, that's not the first thing they notice. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking about when you don't have a disability. I don't think they go based on, oh, he's in a wheelchair. Let me see. They go
Right.
off
Oh,
base
he has workable
personality.
limbs. Like, yeah, they don't.
They
Yeah,
go
that's not how it goes.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
No,
if
that's
I
a
didn't,
great, great answer. And it's so true.
I seen it several. I mean, over the years I've seen different. Some people I've talked to, they're like known me for years, so with them it's different. I mean, at first, yeah, we got people that we know, like in my family for years. So
Yeah.
obviously they know who I am, they know how I act, they know how to talk to them. They know I won't be rude. Sometimes when I say, hey, or they be like right now, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, podcasts and stuff. They're like, oh, that's good what you're doing, this and that. But the other people that don't know me, oh, wheelchair first. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you don't have a wheelchair, I think it's personality, hobbies, vibe. I mean, if you believe in that, like for me, there's certain people I'm like, no, this person can be not the greatest vibe.
No, that's
Um,
a great, great answer. And also something I forgot to
that's just
highlight.
me, because I told you I've seen a lot of things like in 26 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're human just like everyone else. The only difference is, unfortunately, you have a diagnosis, right? And
Exactly.
and something I forgot to highlight in the very beginning is like this was actually his idea for his podcasts, and I began incorporating it with these videos as well. Is I'll
Okay.
ask a question, he'll answer, and then I'll answer too. And literally, what he said is the exact same thing. My answer would be
I
is
mean,
that
that's just me. Like I told I seen a lot of things. I can have a lot of stories I can share. I mean, on my channel, but I don't want to share everything. I'm like, no, because I'm gonna run out. Well, they're interesting, like things that I have experienced. The question you're asking. So I mean, it's like it's not everyone. I used to think like, oh, everybody's gonna see the same. Maybe that's why I was always not the talker. Because I'm like, what's the point? I'm gonna talk, and they're not gonna notice what I'm talking about. They'll just pity it, which I don't want. You don't want a conversation, normal conversation. Like the
yeah,
people that know me, they don't pity me. We talk about anything. It can be something crazy, something funny, or like right now we can talk about the podcast. What do I like doing? For those that know me, they know I like sports. So, oh, how's your team doing this season? What you think this and that? For those that don't, be like, oh no, he doesn't understand none of that stuff. I'm like any 26 years mid. I'm in the mid 20s.
yeah,
Not early.
your disability affects your physical ability, not your
Yeah.
cognitive
Yeah,
development.
so that's why I wasn't like now I see like the right people will come to you. You have a good attitude, you start a conversation, you be good. You can tell like when the person just small talk. I mean when the person does, sees you as human, like you're saying.
Yeah. In my answer again would be, what he said is, you don't see the object, which is the wheelchair, you see the person, you see the characteristics of that individual. Like you do not go outdoors, right? And you see somebody walking and you're like, and you judge them based off of, how they're walking, right? You go based off
Sometimes
of like their energy
their
and who they are as an
looks,
individual.
sometimes you just judge the looks.
Yeah.
You assume things. I mean, I assume things about people, and then I find out they're not the way I thought they were. I just was.
And for me, it's simply as, everyone has a story. So whether I have a good encounter with someone or whether I have a bad encounter with someone, there's a story behind it and beneath it all. And me personally, I like to give the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, if I have a good encounter with someone, great. I love their energy, love their persona. And oftentimes I'll even compliment, I love your energy, I love your vibe, or I love your personality or whatever. And, and if it's someone with a bad experience, then me, I just have the benefit of the doubt. Like, you don't know what they are going through behind closed doors. You don't know if they just lost a loved one, if they just lost a job, if they're struggling with depression or whatever the
Well,
case
what's
may
the
be.
reason? Like, there's always like a reason.
Or what's the reason exactly?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of TV series that, it's intense, scenes are intense, but it always turns out the person was going through something all along. You know how they go flashback.
Yeah,
And it's always like showing, oh, this person was, then you're like, oh, I get it.
absolutely. And two
I
is,
mean, I know it's just
oftentimes like
TV,
these
but it's the truth,
people,
Some people going through stuff that you don't know. They have a reason why.
yeah,
It can be
no,
anything, I don't know.
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always something that's going on behind closed doors. And the way I came across that perspective is simply because like me myself, I could be having an off day, and then that's what made me like realize, like other people are just like you. And that's where the empathy development kind of came from. The second question
Yes.
is what is one battle you have fought mentally that people would never know just by looking at you?
Mentally, well, I dealt with isolation,
Yeah.
which I looked fine for all those months that I was dealing with it. I mean, I saw you during those months, which I mean, I looked fine. I mean, if I ask you, you'd be like, you looked fine.
Yeah.
Maybe self-doubt as well when I was, younger. You guys know me. I mean, you know me for years.
Hmm.
Maybe when we were younger, maybe I never talk about. Maybe I always acted like nothing's wrong with me. I'm good. I think self-doubt, self-confidence, I guess, back in our teenage years, Obviously, you went to school with me, you know how it was. So I
Yeah.
think those things were happening, self-doubt, trying to figure out things, what I wanted to do in life. Because I know, like, obviously, I have this disability, I want, like, realistic goals. I don't want to get illusional on certain goals that, would just affect me in a negative way. So I'll say self-doubt, self-confidence, all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Well,
I don't think
at
I
the end
don't
of the
think I
day, you're
ever said
human
anything
too.
like that with you, you know? Maybe in those years I never really spoke about it. 'Cause I'm like, nah, maybe Victor's gonna see it wrong. You guys were not gonna. I don't know how to explain it, you know? I don't know what to say about it, you know, what to think about it.
I think oftentimes when a person navigates something mentally, emotionally, or just something internally in general, oftentimes we fall into this false belief of a trap where we look around and we want to talk about it or want to share it with others just so we can kind of vent or let something out. And we fall into this thing called a mental barrier, I would say, where we believe no one would be able to understand or be able to relate, or maybe that individual will judge us. And we begin to entertain that mental barrier of a thought, whereas, the possibility of they might understand, or, like for example, you know me for so many years, and I mean, I would hope by now, I wouldn't judge you for anything. And like you can
I
trust
know
me, you know what I mean?
you guys wouldn't do that. I mean, I'd say both of you, you know, obviously.
And I think that's
I
one of
mean,
the
like, you
hardest
get
things to go
obviously
through.
16 years. Honestly, I know that. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more comfortable talking with you guys about certain things. Back then, I was like just trying to figure it out. All these years after reading your book, those were the thing I was reflecting on. Reading your book, that's what I meant, like self-doubt. A lot of things were coming to mind from those days, you know. You guys
Mhm.
always encouraging me until I was like, wait, they were doing their best, but I was just, you know, dealing with self-confidence. I think it was self-confidence. But during those years, I acted like, oh, nothing's wrong with me. I'm good. I'm good. That was the mindset back then.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I'm fine. You know, I was just acting like I was fine, but I think probably internally I was not.
Yeah. And that's like one of the hardest battles too. Like, like myself, for example, when I underwent the psychiatric hold, right? When I underwent that ugly experience, is
Yeah.
everybody around me, when there was signs, there was definitely signs. They were
For
just
me, like
tied up in their own
yeah,
stuff.
for me, like I hide my emotions, honestly. At home, I don't talk to my family about certain things. I'm like, no, they're not gonna understand because they don't live with me. They think it's easy. It's not.
Mm.
Maybe because I never talked to them about it. Like, be like, hey, let's talk about something. 'Cause I know we both have, you know, I have disability, you don't. So I don't know how that's gonna work.
And when it comes to like, I can definitely understand that standpoint when someone doesn't have a similar diagnosis as you. We oftentimes definitely you can say they won't understand, right? Because they don't have that diagnosis.
I mean,
But to
for me,
some
like I,
extent, they can understand because they also gone through similar emotions, such as self-doubt or insecurities or hardship or grief
yeah,
and things in that nature.
maybe because I always think, because all my family is like talkative, you know, it's like yours, you know, I have a big one. Everybody talks.
Yeah.
When we're all together, everybody talks. I mean, I talk to them, but some of them I'm like, no, I'm not answering that question because you're gonna say something that I'm gonna say something I'm not gonna like, that I'm gonna disagree with. This is not gonna be a good conversation.
Mhm. No, I can see that. And too, like whenever it comes like with terms of disagreeing with an individual, depending on obviously in the context and obviously which direction the
It's
conversation is
always
going,
like
is going to determine the
nonsense.
maturity of the conversation,
Yeah,
right?
it's always nonsense. That's why I'm like, no, I'm not speaking to you about my. You're gonna say some nonsense, and I'm not gonna agree with it.
Yeah.
You're gonna say something that looks easy. No, it's not.
The
Uh,
next question is, do you think I'm not going to answer these questions. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it.
are
So
you
do you
sure?
think, yeah, yeah. Do you think a disability made your faith stronger, or did it force you to question faith before you could truly build it?
I'll say I think I didn't. I never questioned fate. I questioned myself at times. What faith I think gave me grounded. You know, like no,
Mhm.
no, that's not. Maybe there's a lot of things I thought like crazy stuff. I'm like, no, no, I can't do that because I know, you know, I think I'm like before I do something like you better think about the consequences. Are you gonna be able to deal with whatever consequence is? So
Yeah.
I've learned like anything you do in life, there's consequence, can be small, big. Are you able to handle it? Because sometimes it'll be, oh, nothing's gonna happen, you know? Things are gonna go my way, but obviously it's not gonna go your way at times.
Yeah. No, definitely. Faith is one of the biggest, in my personal opinion, is one of the biggest
Yeah, I mean, faith, I think got me
foundations.
through, got me through a lot during those years. So, I mean, I don't think, I never doubted faith. The only person I doubted was myself. But that's, like, doesn't have to do nothing with faith, I feel like it's just has to do with me.
Yeah. What is a misconception about living with muscular dystrophy that quietly hurts more than people realize? I'm actually very fascinated with that question.
I mean, you should answer that question too.
I can answer it if you want me to, yeah.
That one, yeah, because SMA, that's your dystrophy. I mean, you have your own side, I have mine. Well, I'll say like misconception that my disability is mentally ill.
Yeah.
That's always the thing, mentally ill. Or sometimes when you get older, it's like a little bit more personal question, like I talked on a podcast, as you get older, like more deeper personal stuff, very more deep. I mean, that I'm not gonna say on here, but there's
Yeah.
like once you get older, there's like a lot of more deeper stuff. But it's all the thing that I see always like mental illness.
Yeah.
From
No,
mental illness, they don't, they don't change their mind. It's always mental illness. That's the first thing that comes to their mind.
that's a great one.
And
When you
then,
talked about the cognitive side,
once you're an adult, obviously it's gonna be more deeper stuff, more
mhm,
personal questions. It's like, I don't think you would ask those questions if the person was not in a wheelchair. You'll be like, it's assault, because you're asking too much personal stuff that I don't think nobody would be comfortable to answer.
yeah. I think oftentimes many people will see, like for example, my own personal experiences, where not all the time, but some people would see me in a wheelchair. And, like you mentioned, the cognitive side where people think, mentally I'm just not there, right?
I'm a
And
kid,
then people would treat
they
me different, or they would completely ignore me and go and, ask my mom, like, oh, do you have any other kids? And then do they have a disability or what do they do, right? And they would completely
that had
factor
that
me
happen
out of
to
the
me.
equation. And then
Or
once
for
they
example,
hear like what I do, then they're like, oh, that's cool. And it suddenly sparks that
no, for
interest.
me, it's
Who
like
is
my
this guy?
cousin. Yeah, like my cousin doesn't treat me there. I have some of my kids from like, when he ate to take a shot with him, and they were like, they were like, they didn't want to, but he's like, no, he drank. Not every of his friends. Some were nice, some were cool.
Yeah,
They were like, they don't see that. They're like, yeah, come on over here. Okay, he tells them who I am. He's not like, oh, he's a stranger. He's different. So
yeah,
I had that happen, or sometimes there are people that know me well. Those that know me well don't do that for most of the time. They're like, some do, some don't. It's hit or miss. Even when I do normal things, they're like I say, the drinking thing. I don't do it like often, only when I'm with family. And
mhm,
some been like, oh, they'll be like surprised. They're like, they think I don't know what I'm doing, which is like I'm 26. I don't
yeah,
have a mental illness. I mean, he's not forcing me to do anything. Maybe they feel like, oh, his cousin forcing, which he's not. That's my
yeah,
choice at the end of the day. But most people be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. If they
yeah,
tell him to do this, he'll do it. For example, they tell him to jump off a bridge, he'll jump. Which obviously I won't. I don't have an illness like that.
yeah. For monetization purposes, we're talking about this thing called a fun drink. We'll leave it at that one.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah,
For
no,
monetization
just
purposes.
yeah. I wasn't like I'm
But
not promoting that, you guys. Not let me see, I'm not promoting that, you guys. I feel like
yeah. And
responsible.
like,
Be responsible with that stuff. I'm
yeah, and it's
always.
moderate. It's not like overindulging.
I don't. It's like cash like family events. I don't do it like every day. Just
Yeah.
try to.
Like
But
special
I
like
always
special occasions.
yeah. So always be responsible. You guys don't overdo it, please.
The
Please,
next
I'm being
question,
serious. Don't overdo it.
Yeah, definitely don't overindulge in it.
Now,
Number
I'm not promoting it, guys. I'm just
uh,
saying, everybody, I interviewed someone who used, those, what is that, edibles, who had muscular dystrophy.
uh-huh.
I didn't cancel that, so I'm like, well, like if he does that, like, well, that's his own deal. I'm not promoting that.
Yeah.
It was for pain, He has muscular
Yeah.
like pain, so
No,
he's
there
like,
there are some significant benefits when it comes to MJ.
no,
It,
he was telling me like gummy sometimes 'cause he's like it's pain. No, like, he obviously had the back surgery like you.
yeah,
It's which I thought it was funny. Like even rappers in wheelchairs do that stuff.
yeah,
So I mean, I was like, well, I mean, he was open to. I mean, I didn't ask him that question, honestly, guys. I was like, okay,
yeah,
it got me off guard, honestly. But he was honest. He's like, yeah, I use it for pain.
yeah. There's
Sometimes the
definitely a
pain.
lot of significant benefits of it. But also too, you
No,
just have to be mindful
yeah,
of like how much you use it because then
yeah.
it can
He,
alter your mental
uh-huh.
state.
Yeah, he said he only uses it once in a while, not because he wants to. He's like, I'm old enough, to do it as well.
Yeah,
He's 30 something, so he's like the pain sometimes is like so harsh. But I know he wasn't promoting it, saying, "Oh, do this." He's like, I'm on the talk. Cause people be like, well, we were talking about people will assume, oh, he can't do this and that.
yeah,
So if they hear that, he's like, maybe they'll have a. He's like, what are you do? They're allowing him, but he's like, I'm adult, he only does it because like the pain is too intense at times.
yeah.
So like you're saying, like depends how you
The
how
the
much you do
next
it.
the next question is if your younger self could secretly listen to this podcast episode, what would you want them to hear from you today? That's actually a very fascinating question.
Man, do you know self-doubt, it's you don't have to prove anything. The right people will come to you. You'll cross path with the right people if you have the right mindset.
Yeah,
Because you go with the negative thoughts, things are not gonna go your way. I'm not saying things will always be perfect. It's not like, oh, I do this, it's everybody's gonna treat me. They'll change their mind on this, which they're not. The right people will change their mind, or the right people, if you have the right energy, vibe. What did I say earlier? Yeah,
yeah. If you are
the
approachable
right
and
mindset.
if
I mean,
yeah, if
the right mindset.
you're approachable, you have a good, healthy mindset. And even if you are an individual, like my channel is primarily mental health. So even if you are an individual who's like struggling with depression, anxiety, all of these different things, is you have to get to a point, and I'm talking from personal life experiences, where you have to get to a point where you want to improve your mental health. And in order to do so, surround yourself with much healthier mindsets. Doing that is not the easiest, especially when your circle is not the healthiest. And again, I'm talking from personal life experiences. So the best thing you can do is seek ways on how you can improve your mental health and then try to find ways on how you can become more approachable so those with healthy mindsets can begin to be like, oh, you know what, let me reach out to this person, let me talk to this person, and eventually you're going to find out that people actually do want to talk to you. You just eventually come to the realization that you were the one blocking the door.
Yeah, I was blocking the door because I met you guys, and I've met several people doing, being, not letting that self-doubt, affect me. So I think I've been able to do a lot more than in the past.
Yeah. And that's why too, like whenever you would struggle with certain stuff, I mean, I would always try to like make you be uncomfortable, you know, uh, just so you can get out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? But
When
only
you're
you are
uncomfortable,
the one to able put in that type of work, right? And be able to actually partake in that transformation, which is really, really cool. The next question is, what is
of course, you
purpose?
pushed me. Both of you pushed me,
Yeah, would push you
which
like
I,
like
which I'm always gonna be grateful for that. You know that.
yeah, I'm like, what's the worst is going to happen? They're going to throw you off your wheelchair. I would say like stupid remarks like that, but
Yeah,
And then you
I'll
would get a
fall off
kick out
my
of it, and then
I'll fall off on my own,
you fall from me.
especially with the new ch Wait, what? Oh, it unplugged itself. I went like this. The freaking cord unplugged on the chair.
You flipped in your chair?
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, I was like, dude, that's
The cord,
impressive.
the cord that it has, the chair, it when it like it got loose and it fell.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it just fell and the chair stopped on itself. That's
I gotcha. I was like, dude, that's impressive. Flipping my wheelchair was impressive, which was crazy.
yeah. You're
What does
living,
purpose look like on the days when your body doesn't feel like cooperating? Damn, that's deep.
living deep.
What happened?
Repeat
You're breaking up.
the
Say it one more time.
the question. Tell playing.
I'm not playing.
You're playing.
Can you say it one more time?
Repeat the question.
Repeat the question. What
Yeah.
does purpose look like on the days when your body doesn't feel like cooperating?
So, sort of, just continue.
You're breaking up again. Dang, I wish I was messing around, but I'm not.
Now, can you hear me?
Can you speak again? Should I pause
Now,
this? Yeah, I can hear you.
now,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you-
Yeah, can you hear me now?
yeah, I have to hold it.
Okay, you're breaking up again.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I have to stay like this.
No, it's like breaking up. Hang on, should I pause this? Okay, cool. I had some technical difficulties.
Again,
What does purpose look like on the days when your body doesn't feel like cooperating?
for I have to push it. Well, I have to push forward.
Yeah.
No, I don't have other option. You just move, push forward, even if it's gonna take longer.
Yeah, that's a good one. When yeah, that's a very, very good one. You got to show
When
up
you have,
regardless.
well, it doesn't matter if my hand is broken. I'm just like, I'm
No,
just
it's
saying.
true though. Like not only are you dealing with life, which has its own
I'm just
challenges.
saying. It's just an example. Broken hand. I don't know, sick,
Yeah.
tired, have a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. No, that's
Don't
that's
feel
a
too
that's a
long.
very good one. Because you're not only dealing with life, but now you're dealing with other limitations and restrictions because of this progressive disability, which is not the easiest to do. We can go outdoors and smile and laugh and joke, right? But like behind
You,
closed doors, it's a struggle. For me, it's for me, it's like what I was saying is, not only are you dealing with life's own set of challenges, both personally and professionally, right? But you're also dealing with the hardships and the challenges that come with the territory of living with a progressive disability. And that's not the easiest thing. Like you can see me go outdoors and smile, crack a joke. I could literally be in the hospital because my disability put me there. And, I will still do those things, but, so it's from a third person view, it might look like, oh, he's fine. He has a good attitude, right? But behind closed doors, I'm just like you. I'm struggling. I'm trying to work through these mental barriers internally, and I'm trying my very best to hold on. And that's not the easiest thing.
okay.
The next question is the last one is when we call ourselves, okay, this is a fascinating one. When we call ourselves the Will Brothers, what does brotherhood mean beyond just both of you being in wheelchairs? Huh.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have a right answer for
We're
this.
calling this what does brotherhood mean beyond
It's
just both?
confusing the wording. I don't know.
I would say
I'll
is
let you answer that one, because this one I don't know. I don't think I have a right answer. I
that's
don't
a
even know. I don't think I have an answer honestly, which is rare. I always have an answer.
a hard question. I did ask for it, but that's a hard question. So for me, I would
So
say
you're answering it.
having someone that can be able to, although I'm very
Relate
private and I'm very, very private.
too
Um,
much.
it is, you said I'm private too much.
No, I'm just playing.
Oh, I
No,
was like,
you're.
well, yeah. I mean, as it is, like you didn't know about the book until literally it was like the week of being published. That
But your
just,
siblings did. I
um,
mean, you were
they
private
were
with your
the only
siblings,
exceptions, and that was only because my brother lived in my household. So,
but your
and
sister
I can't
doesn't
tell
live
my
here,
brother, but not tell my sister. You know what I mean? So like
or the twins.
that's how
They're
that happened.
the twins read their minds. So
Yeah, and so that's how that happened. But for me, I would say my answer would be having someone that can be able to relate and understand what it is like living with a progressive disability. Now, the severity of our circumstances may be different, right? But you can like come to me and be like, "Man, bro, you never actually have, but you can come to me like, "Man, bro, I'm struggling, like being able to do something last month, not being able to do it this month. I can relate to that. You know what I mean? And that's I think is one of the that's why I would like to call ourselves Will Brothers, because we're connecting on a whole alternative level than just like brothers, right? That's why I like the name Will Brothers. I actually didn't think about this perspective until I'm actually talking about answering this question. But like that's why, I like the Will Brothers name because it's Will, which is like real, right? But Will Brothers, because how our relationship kind of transpired,
okay.
you know. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode. I'm literally winging this one as we go. And I treat
Yeah,
these episodes kind of more playful and kind of fun and just like natural a little bit more compared to my other podcasts. My other podcasts are natural too, don't get me wrong, but I come in with a much more interviewer mindset, if that makes sense.
I don't
This
mess.
is
I
this is
don't
more
mess.
like fun and games a little bit, while also being serious and spreading awareness with the like SMA or mental health and things like that.
Yeah, same here. I don't mess around with the other ones.
Yeah. And I think it's cool. It's a good way to kind of like documents and it might help a future project within the foreseeable future. We'll see about that one. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning into today's podcast episode of Will Brothers Podcast. Let me know what
Yes,
if you
sir.
guys stick to the end of the episode, let me know what you guys think about that name. I'm actually very, very curious. I personally love it. Alfonso said
I'm
he
fine with it.
Yeah, Alfonso said he likes it too. When we were off camera, I was like, "Hey, bro, hey, brother, like, what do you think about this?"
Before this, that was like last week. He told me the same thing. I told him I was fine with it,
Yeah, he said it
and
was
I
fine
told
with you.
him, and again I repeat it myself. Like I'm fine with it. But this time in person, not text message.
Yeah, it's perfect. And we had some technical difficulties with Alfonso's microphone. We'll figure that one out. But yeah,
I would never figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. Where there's problems, there's solutions. We'll end it on that note. But I
Yeah,
am Victor,
updated.
your guys' host, and today we have Alfonso, who goes by Muscular Dystrophy
Always
Warrior
happening.
Warrior
And we're thinking
Online.
about having guests, maybe soon.
Oh yeah,
We
and like you said in the very beginning, like what if we bring guests onto the podcast,
well, we'll
whether it's
talk
mine
about
or
it off
his or
camera.
both, or yeah, we
I
can
mean, yours better. I feel like you've been good guest, so
yeah,
mine I'm not. I'm slowing down a little bit with that.
we're gonna slow down a little bit. Yeah, it don't matter. Mine,
Yeah,
yours.
for me,
Uh,
like on this one we can do it. Like this one I'm fine with it. We'll
yeah,
we'll figure it out next time.
yeah, we definitely have to talk about
Figure
this
that
one a
out.
little bit more. We didn't talk about this prior to the recording, so this was
Last
random,
minute
but
I thought
yeah, like
random
last
because I
minute
didn't.
thought.
Yeah, because I needed to see how we did the podcast for
Yeah.
figure things out. Then so now that we have a couple of episodes out, I think it's time to do it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I actually really do. It's a
It's
good
always
thought.
nice to
I
have a
thought
couple
about
of
it
episodes.
too, but I didn't think about
I
with this one.
mean, I thought about it because we're on Spotify and different platforms, not
Yeah.
just YouTube, so we can take this. Imagine that we can get more traction on there to bring a guest.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe because it's like these episodes are not available on like Apple Podcasts and things like that. Um I didn't put in that type of work for this podcast just because there's like so many other stuff going on.
No, I put
But
mine.
maybe
Mine's
like
not. Mine
yours I
is.
know is available kind of like on all major platforms. So maybe we can do yours and then I could just be a um collaborator for it. You know what I mean? Just because
Mm,
yours is distributed in more various places. Like my other podcast, Become the Victor podcast, it's available on all major platforms. Um, but again, there's like only so much I can do. So
okay, that's
it's
fine.
hard
We'll
to
figure
balance
that out.
everything. Yeah, we got it.
I'll figure.
We'll talk about the logistics off camera, but
I'll figure it out. Like any time to
yeah.
write my notes.
But for everyone
Maybe
tuning in, is comment down below what you guys think about today's episode. Comment down below what you would like to see in future episodes.
Or who
All
would
of
you like to have as guest as
Yeah,
well?
and
Like,
our
oh,
guests. What do you guys think about guests? And if you guys
who's
have
the
any
perfect guest?
ideas, if you
Give me
like it,
top five.
yeah, recommend some guests
Top
and
five
get us
that would
connected.
say yes.
I don't care
Like
about
you
the
say,
audience size. I always say that. I do not care about the audience size. I
yeah,
will
that's what
make
I'm
that
saying.
happen.
Bring someone who's want to come into some of the
Yeah,
big ones
bro, I
now.
literally will end it here because I think this is kind of cool to maybe document a little bit on the channel.
Okay,
Is I
okay, that's
literally
fine.
just interviewed the biggest content creator I have ever had,
Who is it? Do you follow?
who has
She or he?
close who has close to 6 million subscribers. I won't say who yet, especially not on live recording.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
With
But
6
this
million subscribers, which is
we'll
crazy.
surprise you guys.
Yeah,
Next time we
we'll
will
surprise you
say,
guys. But so that
take a
episode will
guess.
be yeah, that
Wait, take a guess. Who do you guys think? Give a clue at least.
yeah, comment down
Who
below. Who do you
who do you
think
think it could
I
be?
have? I mean, feel
Give
free to
one clue at least.
give them one
Maybe
clue at least.
the hardest clue.
They're a content creator. Like
Oh yeah, they'll figure
they're
it out.
they're a
Yeah,
content creator. And
just say content creator. Okay, let's leave it at the content
it's a content
creator.
creator, and if you look on my podcast, there's no idea you would be able to guess who's to come.
All right, then we'll leave it
I
at
personally
that.
don't think they can guess that, but
We'll leave it
challenge
at that.
accepted. Challenge me on that. But yeah, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and all of our links will be within the description as well. And
As
oh, that where
always.
I was going with that, the reason why I brought up that interview dude is because, or I just accidentally dropped a clue, so now you know it's a guy. Um,
All
but the
right.
reason why I brought that up is because I literally do not care about their audience size. I will try my absolute best to make it happen. Unless it's like a Kardashian, that's like too big, out of reach.
Or the Paul brothers.
Yeah, or the Paul brothers.
That would,
That would be dope.
yeah, especially I like
That,
sports.
that
I
would
think
be
I
a
could, yeah, I think I
crazy
could give,
collaboration.
yeah, it would. So, I mean, I watch
Yeah.
sports. I watch boxing.
If
I
bro,
watch boxing, man.
if I or we or whatever happen to somehow get the Paul brothers, I'm gonna try my absolute best to become a brand ambassador for Prime. I'm gonna just leave it at.
Yeah,
I
I
love you
watch
guys.
wrestling too.
That'd
I
be
watch all their sports, so I'm like, yeah, I think I could
yeah,
collaborate in different things.
that'd be sick. Make like a
Yeah,
funny AI generated commercial where like I drink Prime and then like suddenly, my disability is cured. I think that would be
yeah.
a funny commercial.
I think they'll make you guys millions more.
Yeah, I think that would be
Think
a
about it.
comical, just take a sip of Prime and be like, and I don't know, do a reaction or whatever, and just like walk out of your wheelchair, or whatever. I think
Yeah,
that'd
that
be
way.
sick.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to clip this and post it. I don't know.
Go ahead.
We'll see
That's
what the
you.
world thinks about that one.
All
But
right,
all of our
then.
links will be within the description. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.